Hey guys, it's Gabe, and today I'm going to tell you about how I got married at 19. So I know a lot of you, especially in the 21st century, are probably just like, oh my god, what did you just say? Like, yeah, I know, like it's crazy. I mean, I never thought that I would get married that young or anything, but because not a lot of people really do that anymore, I just want to share my experiences. I want to tell you what it's been like and how people have reacted, because it's been interesting, definitely. So I met my now husband, man, I don't know, maybe 2.5 years ago now, in like early 2015. And honestly, we just both clicked like right away. I mean, we couldn't find any differences between the two of us. Like, we liked all the same things, had the same opinions on like literally everything. And honestly, we knew each other for probably less than a month, and we had started talking about getting married because we're the kind of people who just like know dead on like what we want out of life, and we know that we don't want to mess around or waste time. So we started talking about it really early, and I know it sounds like horrible, I can't even remember, but later that year, I'm pretty sure, is when we got engaged, which, you know, wasn't a surprise for either one of us. I mean, we planned it out, we knew it was happening, we had picked our rings online and everything and ordered them. And that was super exciting. And so at that time, I had met him when we were both going to the same college. I met him at like an accepted students weekend. And that was pretty cool. We got engaged while we were freshmen in college. And that went pretty good. You know, it was, our parents like luckily had met once before. We had like made sure that they would at least meet once before we, you know, did this, so they wouldn't be like, oh my god, like I don't know who this person is. At least they would like, you know, sort of know our families. So, you know, it went over like pretty well with them. I mean, like of course they were happy, but I mean, if I'm being honest, you know, we didn't really get the reaction that we hoped for, because obviously it's not like either of us had been in the other's lives for a long time, and like the family on each side was like, oh, waiting, when are they gonna get engaged? You know, it wasn't really like that. So we didn't really have like that level of excitement, but you know, that was fine for us. I mean, we knew what we wanted to do, and we were happy to know that like, this is what we want, we're gonna do this. It was great. So we were engaged. 2016 comes around, and so we're in our second year of college, and it's not going well for us. You know, we didn't like it. So we ended up taking a different route, and we dropped out of school because, you know, my husband now, but not then, had a plan for what he wanted to do for work. You know, at least for a while, to figure things out, because we knew that going to college at a physical location wasn't working. We hated it, couldn't deal with it. So anyway, dropped out like before Christmas of 2016. And it'd be an understatement to say that our families were pretty disappointed, you know, because you never want to hear that like your kids are doing something crazy like that. I mean, for how young we were, and I mean like still are, but you know, how young we were, like taking such a big risk, like was scary for them, it was scary for us, but we knew like we're not gonna sit around and waste our time doing something we don't want to do, because, you know, again, we're kind of people that are like not taking crap, do what we want type thing. So we had a plan, it was good. We already were living in an apartment anyway, so just started paying our own bills, working. Pretty soon after, like early 2017, my husband started doing online college, so he's getting his degree. He actually just got a new job, which I'm really excited about. So he's leaving the one that he's been at since we left our physical college. So, I mean, so you know, all this stuff is going around. It's crazy for our families because we're doing like a lot of, you know, different stuff. We're not taking like the conventional path of like for a year like going to a college. So that's hard for them. And then January 2017 we got married because he was at the point in the job where he's finishing up right now, where he was at for a long time, where it was time to like sign up for insurance and stuff. And, you know, because I'm no longer in my parents' insurance because I'm not in school, I'm not a dependent anymore, I'm on my own. We got married, of course, because we wanted to, but we had just gotten married like in a courthouse on a random Wednesday in January because like we had to get married so that I could be a part of his insurance and have insurance, which is important. So we got married on January 18th, 2017. I mean, it was good, it was fine. We just went to the courthouse, filled out some paperwork. It was like really painless. I was surprised, it's pretty easy. And you know, none of our family was there, but you know, that's okay. We're thinking about doing some kind of ceremony in the future for that. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. You can't always like, you know, plan out the way things work. So it's totally fine. And you know, by that point, we had spent a lot more time with each other's family and they were all really happy to hear that we got married. But I want to talk about when I had visited Maine, where my extended family lives, and how they thought about all this stuff going on in my life. Because, you know, a lot of my family, you know, probably like your family, like everyone's family, a lot of people don't go on Facebook, don't like keep up, and especially when you just haven't seen someone in a while. They don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on with them, so like whatever. So I go to Maine, and it was tough to talk to a lot of my relatives because a lot of them didn't know that I was married. A lot of them didn't know that I had dropped out of college. And they were all like really surprised that I am a stay-at-home spouse. Don't have a degree. Honestly, at this point in my life, I don't have a plan to. I don't feel bad about that or anything. You know, the life that my husband and I have is like totally great. I know we're going in a great direction. My husband just got hired for this really awesome job with a really great company, and we know that's going to be his career for a long time. So, you know, we're set. Totally not worried about anything. We're not struggling to pay bills. We're happy. We're not tied down. You know, a lot of that is hard to convey when you are so young to like other family members. So right now I'm 20, but when I was in Maine visiting, I was 19, not that that makes a huge difference, you know, okay. So I was there, you know, telling people like what's going on, like, you know, no, I'm married now, I'm not in school anymore, you know. My husband's doing online college, he's got a job, everything's going well, you know, can't argue. Don't have anything to really complain about at the end of the day. And oh my God, like, ooh, you should have seen the looks I got from people. They were like, oh, you sure like you don't want to finish your degree, or are you sure you don't want a job? Or I mean, they were asking me like really crazy stuff, and I was like, look, no, you know, it's not like we're millionaires, but I don't really need to have a job right now. I've got personal reasons that stop me from having a job. Plus we only have one car. Like, it's not a problem. I don't need to do it. Like, both of us are perfectly happy with me staying at home, being a homemaker. I like it. I mean, I grew up with my mom mostly being a homemaker, so like, you know, I've got no problem with not having a job. I feel fine. I am happy with my life. But like, for some reason, a lot of people like can't get around how young I am and the fact that like I don't have a job, don't work, I'm not gonna get a degree as far as I can see right now. And you know, the more I was thinking about it, I was like, you know, why are people treating me that like I'm not doing anything for my family, or like I'm being useless, or like I'm too young to like have done this like crazy stuff in my life? And I'm just thinking like, why are people treating me like this? I mean, for generations, it's not been uncommon for people to get married very young, and it is certainly not uncommon for only one person in the family to work. I mean, most families now aren't like that, but it's not like, you know, literally every family member I talk to, like, I'm sure all of them at some point have had only like either them or their spouse like working, only one, or like just one being a homemaker. I mean, I was like, oh my God, like why am I getting all this crap for doing something that I want to do that's not harming anything, that like people have like literally been doing for generations. I mean, I thought people like would be happy for me because I'm happy. I don't know why that's so hard to understand, why like a young person doesn't like have a job or would be in a relationship where like only one person has a job. I don't know. I mean, maybe they think that it's like bad for me to be entirely dependent on someone. I mean, to that I would just say, well, I'm married. I got married really young. I knew that I wanted to get married really soon on from knowing this person. I mean, you know, of course, like no one thinks they're gonna get divorced, but I mean, I'm just not. And honestly, like if I was in a position where I wasn't happy, I mean, I would start changing things for myself, but I am certainly not in that position now. So I was just wondering, like, well, are they concerned for my future, concerned that I'm like dependent on someone? I don't know, but I just thought it was so unfair the way that like a lot of people react to hear how young I am, how young I was when I got married. You know, the fact that I don't have a job, the fact that I don't want a job, the fact that my husband doesn't, you know, have a desire for me to have a job. It's crazy, but I mean, you know, relationships like that still exist in the 21st century. I'm not oppressed. I'm totally happy. You know, I'm really fortunate to be in a position where I don't have to work to survive. And I'm really glad I'm in a position, because for me personally, you know, I don't know, I don't have a problem with having a job or anything. It's just that I'm happy with my life now, and I'm happy that it worked out this way where I can just stay at home, take care of the house, take care of the pets that we've got. I don't know why that's so hard for some people to understand. And I don't know, it doesn't impact my life or anything as a young person to be married. I think a lot of young people now just seem to be scared of marriage because they think it's gonna like tie them down, but if you get married to the right person, no it won't. Like your life is gonna be better, it's gonna be fine. And I often think, like literally every day, like how grateful I am to have the life that I do, to have the family that I do, to be able to like live in my own space, have someone that comes home every night that I can just be thankful for. And you know, it's so shocking whenever people act like, oh, like you should want more, or like, are you sure you can't go back to college, or like, oh, is there something you could do to get a job? Like, you know, I can't believe how many people act like there's something missing in my life when, you know, at this point in my life, being 20, there is nothing else I could ask for than to be married, to have pets, to live in our own space, to not struggle to pay bills. I mean, I've got a great life, and for as young as I am, I think I've done more than a lot of other people who have just gone to college, don't have their crap together, have no idea what they're doing with their lives. I mean, I've got a direction, and just because it's like unpopular for a young person to take the direction I did does not mean that it's any less valid, or that I'm crazy, or there's something wrong with me, or anything like that. I'm happy to be where I am. I wouldn't change it. So, yeah. So that's just kind of a little bit of my experience about being a homemaker, getting married at 19. It all worked out for me, and I hope that maybe this has been an interesting story for you to listen to, or it might have changed your opinion on the few people like me who like are crazy and decide to get married so young. But I know what I want, and I have everything I want. So thanks for watching.